Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to set up Windows group policy for your domain computers to get time from your domain controller. So without any further ado, let's get started. Now, I've searched on this topic quite a bit, and I was not able to find a lot of information, and the information I found online was a lot of scribble. So I ended up making a video. This video may be a little longer, but at the end of the video, I'm pretty sure you guys gonna like this, and it's gonna help you a lot. So we have a scenario here where we have a one domain controller, and I have a test machine called Win-10-ENT. So I'm running Windows Server 2016 and Windows 10 Enterprise. So let's get going. I'm gonna log into my test machine first here. So once I'm gonna log in, I'm gonna show you guys the basically what are the settings currently on the machine, and what are we going to be changing it to. So I'm going to RDP into the machine because the screen is a little bigger, so you guys may see multiple RDP sessions. So now this profile and Patel is actually logged in as a domain administrator or administrator, and I have another user that is created as a test user with just a regular right. So what we're going to be doing in here is kind of showing you guys when you have a domain account versus kind of non-domain, just a traditional user account, how we can get this accomplished. So without any further ado, let's get going here. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is my Windows 10 machine. I'm going to verify this is a Windows 10 Enterprise, going to control panel, and then basically going down to let's say category, change to large icon. I'm going to go to the system here, so kind of verify that this is Windows 10 Enterprise. Now the results are going to vary for Windows 10 Enterprise versus LTST versus Pro. So right here, Windows 10 Enterprise shows somewhere here, right there up top, Windows 10 Enterprise. So let's get going. So what we're gonna do is change the current time. So it's 9:22 on 11/2/2019. So go ahead and right click on that, adjust date and time, and we're gonna change this time. Let's see, right now I'm in Central Time, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna literally change this to Moscow, some kind of a random island, and gonna go ahead and click OK. So let's say your current time is 5:52 a.m. and it's 11/2/2019. So now that is set, and also something else we're gonna test is this guy. So go ahead and launch your command prompt. I'm gonna show you a command that will tell us if it's synced to your domain controller or not. So right here. So the command is w32tm/query/status. So if you see here, right now it says it is being synced to my domain controller, which is masterpiece as parkingexpert.com. As you guys can see, last sync 50817, but still the time is not right. Now there's two different things that needs to be right here. One is the time zone, and the second is the time, and that is what I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. And we're gonna lock all the settings up, so a regular standard user is not able to change any of that. So without any further ado, let's get logged into your domain controller. So I'm going to go ahead and populate my domain controller here. I'm going to go ahead and log in and launch the group policy wizard. As you guys can see, Microsoft Server Windows 2016. This also works on 2012 R2 and 2019. So go ahead and click on Tools and open up your Group Policy Editor, Group Policy Management. And now what we're going to do is create the first policy. Now I'm going to create the policy at the top level because I'm going to apply these settings to all my machines in the OU. So let's go ahead and click on create Group Policy Object and link it right here. So I'm going to name it Global Time Policy. So kind of giving it right name that kind of shows you that this is going to be the policy. Now on that Windows 7 machine, real quick, what I'm going to show you before we get to going on that command that we did right there, it may show local CMOS. So if that shows the local CMOS, then your machines are not synchronizing to the domain controller. But let's go ahead and click on this global time policy again, and we're gonna go ahead and right click on that and go ahead and click on edit. And then we'll go ahead and start applying the settings. So once you are here, the first setting that needs to be made, I'm going to maximize this here. So let's go ahead and get the first settings here. So the first setting is go to computer configuration, then go to policies, and then go to administrative tools or administrative templates right here. And then we need to go to system, and then we need to go to Windows time service and click on time providers. Now, there's two settings that needs to be enabled here. Enable NTP client. This will allow your domain machine to get time from the domain controller. So go ahead and click on enable there. And what we're gonna do is configure Windows NTP client. Okay, so Windows NTP client is gonna be your basically your domain controller or the servers in the environment. So in my case, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the IP address 10.10.11.18. And if you have a secondary server, basically all you need to do is kind of put a comma and then say 10.10.11.19 comma 0x9. Now in my case, I don't have a secondary server, so I'm not going to put that in here. Type needs to be NT5DS, and go ahead and click on apply and OK. Now these are the default settings. So once that is done, what we're gonna do now is that is set, and now what we're gonna do is prevent the users from changing the time zone and the time. Now how to do that? So let's go ahead and go to your computer configuration again. Then we're gonna go to policies, right? And then go to Windows settings. Now once you get here, then what we need to click on is the security settings, right? So security settings, Windows time service. No, it's actually local policies. It's not Windows time service. Local policies, and then we're gonna click on user rights assignment. So once we get here, then we need to find change system time. So I bet it's right here, change system time. And what we're gonna do is define the policy settings, and we're gonna add here a group of users that can change the time. So in my case, I'm just gonna say domain admins, right? So only domain admins are going to be able to change this time. Now if you want somebody else to change this time, you can add that in there, but I'm just going to leave domain admins in there. So basically, if you're a domain admin and log into that machine, you can change the time. Nobody else can. The domain time zone as well, I'm going to define that, add that, and browse, and I'm going to search my group called domain admins, right? So go ahead and click on check. Oops, it's one word. Admins. Let's see. Oh, is it not? Domain admins. There we go. Click OK. Click OK and apply. Now, what we need to do is enable a Windows time service. For your computers to receive time, the Windows time service needs to be enabled when the actual machine boots up. Now to do that, let's go ahead and click on computer configuration one more time right there where we are, and then we're gonna go to preferences, this time not policies, preferences, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to services. So I bet services are under control panel settings, services, and then we're gonna right click here, new service, right? We're gonna add a new service here. At startup, go ahead and do select automatic. Service name, we need to find Windows time here, so type in Windows time or search for it. Let's see, how hard is it to search for Windows time here. Windows time, let's see. Okay, so that took me long to find it, but go ahead and find Windows time service as WTime32, and go ahead and service action start, and you don't need to define anything, and make sure that's automatic. And you can put recovery, as if it fails the first time, go ahead and restart the service. And I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do is go ahead and click on apply, and it should look like this: when WTime32 order 1 start service. So that is the third step to making this successful. And the last and final step is we need to add some registry value. Okay, so before we do this, what I want you to make sure the time on your domain controller, which is right. So go ahead and click on the time and look at that time zone, and everything is correct. So I want my time to be Central America. All the settings are right, and I'm gonna set the time zone automatically. and all that, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and click close on that, and I'm gonna come back to the group policy editor again. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is click on computer configuration, then go to preferences again, and then we're gonna go to registry. So registry is under either it's under Windows settings or right here, registry. So go ahead and click on registry, then right click and click on new and add a registry wizard. So once you do that, go ahead and click on the local computer, then the local machine, right here, HQI local machine. Then we need to go to system, let's see, system, current control set. So right here, current control set. Then go to control. Let's see, control. Then we need to get to time zone information. Let's see, so scroll down all the way. You know, time zone information, right? And once you click on time zone information, you see a bunch of these. Now go ahead and select all of these. Now there is no there is no other way. You just have to select them all one at a time. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so once this is that, and you can kind of see what my time zone is here, right? Central America and Standard Time Zone. And go ahead and click on Finish here. So once you kind of, scroll down to the tree and you click on, time zone information, you should be able to see all this. Now, what we're going to do again here is right click on registry, right click and click on collection item. And this time I'm going to call this folder time zone, right? And this is going to define the time zone on the machine. So what we're going to do is click on time zone information one more time, select all of these, and go ahead and drag and drop like that on the time zone. So you'll see all of these now moving to the time zone, and now we can basically go ahead and delete the registry wizard value that we created. So right click on that and go ahead and delete. So basically at this point, all the settings that we need are done and are applied. So if you have not done this, I know I went through this very fast, but you can do it by yourself, kind of go to the video, pause, and look at it again. So what we're going to do is go ahead and close that, and we're going to test and verify. So now before we go ahead and test verify, I'm going to go ahead and go to command prompt on my domain controller, and just for giggles, I'm going to do GP update. So make sure all the policies are updated, and make sure whenever you right click on your global time policy, it says link enabled. So make sure that checkbox is there. So now what I'm going to do is go to my test machine, log in, and make sure the time is somewhere around 9:35 or 9:36 when I restart my machine. So let's go to the test machine. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to my Windows 10 Enterprise. As you guys can see, the current time is 6:04 a.m., 11/02/2019. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and type in command prompt. I'm going to do gp update /force, which is going to force it to synchronize time, to get the new policy from the domain controller. And what we're going to do is go ahead and restart the computer. Okay, now once we kind of restart this machine, there's two-phase approach we're going to do. First, we're going to log in as a domain administrator and see what settings we can change. And second time, we will log in as a standard user, that or that test user that I created. So, we can kind of verify, test, and make sure that those are the settings that we kind of want. So this is the Windows 10 Enterprise machine. I'm just making sure it's kind of, coming back online here. And as soon as it does, we will log in and make sure that kind of that comes on. Alright, so the machine is now restarting. As you guys can see, Windows 10 Enterprise, please wait. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop up my RDP session again. Okay, now it says 9:35, which is the right time. Now I can verify this with my domain controller, go back to my masterpiece, and as you guys see, 9:35 a.m., 11/02/2019. So let's go ahead and verify those settings in there. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this again, actually, and go ahead and log into this guy here. So once it kind of shows up here, then we will go ahead and process with that login. Alright, so as you guys can see, I'm logging in as a domain admin, which is myself, and I should be able to see the right settings. Alright, so I'm logged in, and let's see. So I can see it's 9:36 a.m. 11/2/2019, and it's a Saturday. So let's go ahead and right click on that, adjust date and time. So as you guys can see, I have ability to change the time zone here if I wanted to. I'm a domain administrator. Go ahead and click on time and date formatting, and adjust time region. Set date and time, and I can change the time if I wanted to. I can change the date. I can go, okay, I can say it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Whatever you wanted to, and say okay, and that time will take effect. But the good thing to note about here, once you change it, and even if you restart, or somebody restarts the machine, it's gonna take the time back to it's gonna synchronize the time back to the domain controller, and it's going to give you the right time. Another way to verify this is if you click on adjust date and time, it will show you right here, synchronization clock time server masterpiece.parkingexpert.com right here. And also shows you this 11/2/2019, the time was last synchronized at this time. So something to note, if you have Windows 10 LTSC, or if you have Windows 10 any other edition like Windows 10 Pro, it may not show that, and that may be a feature just available, basically for Windows 10 Enterprise only. So don't get don't get upset that if it doesn't show that, but your time is working. So let's go ahead and log in as that test user and make sure that test user is not able to change all those settings that we put in place, and make sure. Let's see, T user, and kind of verify the functionality. So right there, Windows 10 Enterprise, it's logging in. It's that same thing. As you guys can see, the name is up top is right. And once this user logs in, I'll show you what that looks like. Alright guys, so as you guys can see, the user has logged in. I can show you is the test user right here. Let's see, it doesn't show the name here, but it is the test user. Okay, so 9:39 a.m. So let's go ahead and right click on date and time, adjust date and time settings, and it's gonna bring us here. So if you look at it again, a time server masterpiece. So if you click on here and try to change this, it may change the time zone, but if you look at the bottom, it's not changing any time because those are restricted. Basically that is restricted by the time. Also, if you close this and reopen it, you guys will see it's all only set to central time, which is set on the back end. And the reason why this is not changing, if you click on date, time, and regional settings, and this setting one more time, it is gonna bring you to this clock and region place. And click on date and time, and if you click on change time zone, it's gonna throw an error, unable to continue. You don't have permissions, right? And also change date and time is gonna show you this, user control error, UAC, so you can't change date on time. So basically, this kind of, guys, kind of verifies this method actually kind of works, and it kind of synchronizes your time to domain. And last thing we can do before we kind of conclude this is type this command called Windows 32 TM /query /status, right? That kind of verifies that who's your, where is it getting time from. So it says source, which is masterpiece, and we can do the secondary command Windows 32 TM/TZ, and which also show your time zone and things according to like that. But also something to remember, whenever we set that group policy, and we had a secondary server, so if your primary server fails, it does get the time from the secondary server. Now that's it for this video, guys. Now I'm not asking for much here, so if this video has helped you guys, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you guys leave a comment down below if you guys have any issues or any comments or concerns. Also, for more videos like this, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And if possible at all, please share this video on your Facebook, Twitter, any way you can, because I've spent about 3 4 5 hours trying to figure this out, and I want to make sure this process is easier for the system administrator or the network administrator to set this time, and make sure this kind of trends on YouTube and the right people get hands on this, so we can resolve more problems and work together as a great community. Again, I want to thanks our primary sponsor, which is TrueParkings.com. If you guys are looking to earn any extra dollars or any extra cash, go to TrueParkings.com, sign up, and list your spot, and start earning revenue within minutes. Again, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video. Again, have a great day, and see you on the other side. Thanks. Bye-bye.